everybody! Beautiful Xanadu Comics in beautiful Seattle. Unfortunately, as you may have noticed, Casey is not around.
I didn't notice.
Oh, really?
I never notice when he's not here.
Well, I do. I'm silently mourning on the inside. Verbally introducing, though, because, I don't have any other way of doing that, unless I learn sign language all of a sudden. But you don't need sign language for comics! Woo! Because it kind of is a sign language in and of itself. Let's just get to the comics.
Comics have their own language, and we've learned to decipher and decode and appreciate that language for what it is, a visual medium. And we have some beautiful visual mediums to talk to you about this week.
Well put, Anna.
Thank you. Eloquent as always. I'm going to start off with the second coming of the American Vampire series by Scott Snyder and Rafael Albuquerque. This brings Sweet...
Skinner Sweet?
Skinner
I think his
Sweet.
name is?
Yes, Skinner Sweet.
Sounds like a wrestler, but okay.
Oh.
That would be a really good wrestler
Remember
name. If
that
any
for
of you
later.
want to become wrestlers, write it down.
Skinner Sweet. The two main characters that you love and hate from the first series are kind of on their own paths, doing their own thing, being bad, kind of being good, and they're, who knows, probably brought together by the end of...
Yeah, I don't know, comics have
The
a
book,
weird
yeah.
way of doing that. Narratives like to have their characters actually interacting in the same plot.
Yeah, doing things, moving things forward, but these are the best vampires that you love to hate.
Yeah, it's got a really great wash effect going on over Rafael Albuquerque's art. Cool beheaded horses, beheaded Native Americans, lots of people getting beheaded. It's really weird.
That's the
Although
only
not
way to take care of vampires. Not the only way.
one of many.
But these vampires are
Speaking
actually scary.
of vampires.
Yeah.
You know what else has a first issue this week? Buffy Season 10. That's right, the third non-TV season of Buffy. This one written by Christos Gage, drawn by Rebecca Isaacs, one of my favorite artists,
Yeah,
actually.
the team from Angel and Faith series that you might have been reading for the past couple of years jump over to the main Buffy arc
they
line.
bumped the Whedons off of their throne here. But their Angel and Faith series got a lot of high praise, so obviously they were the next to step up. We have multiple covers for this issue. It's kicking off the New Rules arc, which fans of a certain character who died in the last season might be pleasantly surprised by a development at the end of this issue.
Season 10 Buffy's kind of getting back to the basics of vampire hunting. Buffy kind of went everywhere, and now it's coming back to what made us love Buffy in the first place, which
Killing
is
lots of vampires
good
and
old
saying
vampire
funny
killing.
things, right?
Exactly. The Scoobies are back in the ways you love, but with new challenges, which I love. What else am I talking about? We got some new Hellboy art books. Just one art book for you. It's
And it's only sort of new. It's the first 20 years, yes?
yeah, so it's new to us. Beautiful pinups, Mike Mignola. It's the art that I look at every day on the computer and try to figure out my new best desktop background with Mignola's book because it's so contrasty and clear and full of monsters, which I love.
Yeah, what more do you need on your computer?
I don't know. It's oversized and it's hardbound and
It's really, really, really pretty. It's just pages and pages and pages of Mignola goodness. Lots and lots of black and dark red and everything else that you would expect. Also out this week, very exciting collection. What is this giant block of a single color and also a couple characters? Yes, it's a new Saga trade. Crazy. We have a huge box of these in the back. It's Saga. Do I need to say anything else?
no, because if you're not reading Saga, then you haven't been reading comics in the past 2 years.
Yeah, buy it.
So, what else do I got? Oh yes, canon.
Ooh.
This is intense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little.
No, it's heavy.
I'm gonna give you a little
In
history
many
about
ways.
this book. It's Wally Wood's collection of the single issue canon series that ran in Overseas Weekly during late World War II Korean War for soldiers, which meant that it got to skirt by the comics code, and so there is so much violence.
They really
There's
took advantage of that
a lot
exception.
of titillating ladies constantly running through these pages. I think Tom Spurgeon, comics reporter, said it best when he said that every lady in here is at some point of nakedness or about to be naked. It's what you'd expect a soldier overseas might appreciate to look at when they're dreaming of their gals back at the shore.
Exactly.
There's other such soldier 40s talk, but it's a historical book. It's Wally Wood and Steve Ditko.
Written and drawn by Wally Wood, inked by Steve Ditko.
It's-
That's so much pedigree right there.
I read the first 27, 30 pages and it felt like nothing because I just had to read everything. This book is amazing and it's
And people at Fantagraphics did a wonderful job with the trade dress there.
so much editorial work went into this book and it would be appreciated by the staff if
We
you
went and
picked
bought
it
a
up.
few copies,
Exactly.
maybe 5 or so.
Yeah, share them with your grandpa because I'm sure he probably misses those days too.
And something that I personally, and I think I am maybe the only person in the world who's excited for this.
I won't wait on that.
This is Batman and Aquaman, number 29.
He's so excited. He couldn't wait to talk about this all day. That's not a joke.
Okay, of all the characters they were cycling through with the Batman and cycle after Robin died, who would have thought that Aquaman would have been one of them? And who would have thought that it would have resulted in one of the coolest comics of the week? I will fight anyone who says this is not cooler than any other Bat book landing this week.
It's true. He's flexing back here. He's got that
Yes!
pent up nerd. He's got the.
But it's actually kicking off the Hunt for Robin arc where, of course, Batman is trying to track down the dead body of his son and his baby mama. So you've got lots of whales with their corpses exploded, which, if you paid attention to the Batman Incorporated storyline, can only mean one thing. Damien clones. You've got creepy, buff, baby-headed clones of Batman's son that him and Aquaman have to fist fight. And if that isn't awesome, I really, really don't know what is.
Alright. Maybe. Alright.
Whew.
Yeah, that was.
I need to calm down.
There was so much emotion.
In lieu of regular Marvel expert Will here, we are going to actually toss it over to our good friend Howard, who has a couple of huge hardcovers, because apparently it's the week for huge hardcovers.
I'm not complaining.
Take it away, Howard.
Hello, everybody, and thanks, guys. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a book coming in this week called Basewood by Alec Longstreth. It is going to be a great adventure story. Alec was a Seattle resident for a while in his college years. Went to the Pratt Institute here in Seattle, and we carried a lot of his self-published stuff when he was a struggling young artist, and now he seems to have really made it big with this great new book from Top Shelf and his own Phase 7 comics. Yes, so pick it up. It's really cool. Great big hardcover, only $20. Good stuff. Also, this week in the big hardcover format is Noah by Darren Aronofsky and Nico Henriken. You've been wondering what Nico's been up to? He's been illustrating this great big tome full of great story realized by Darren Aronofsky. Very similar to what he did a few years ago with his film Fountain. All of the really cool stuff that he wanted to get into the movie, but they just, for some reason, couldn't film, they made it in the graphic novel format. So this is your story of Noah as interpreted by Darren Aronofsky and Nico Henriken. You will be amazed at some of the creatures and beings who didn't quite make it onto the ark. Now, back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Howard. That Noah book looks amazing, and
Totally gorgeous.
really glad that Russell.
Nico Henriken? Oh, I thought you were going to talk about...
No,
okay,
no,
sure. We have different things on the mind. You're
Yeah.
thinking about the Crow. That's
was-
cool.
No, Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell, the Crow. Crow.
Russell the Crowe. Really glad that he's just in the movie and not somehow magically in the comic.
Oh, I know. So
And
glad
so
they
glad
didn't
that
try
they-
to shoehorn that likeness
So
in
glad that they're
there.
not making Noah a musical. But
Oh, I
the
didn't
comic is
consider that.
Sans Russell Crowe, Sans musical audio reality, which might have been kind of cool. We'll talk to Aronofsky about that later. But both those hardcovers are gorgeous.
Yeah, maybe if he ever gets his Batman movie made, they'll do it as musical.
Ooh.
But how about comics? We are not a movie blog. What do we got here? Oh, what's this? What's this? Sex criminals? You needed more huge things from Image?
I like to call it sex criminales.
Sex
Gives it a little
criminales.
flair.
Yeah, or sex crims. I really like that one. No matter what you want to call it, this is the hilarious sex comedy by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. It's really another one of those books where if you don't know what this is, what have you been doing the past year? It's hilarious, it's heart-wrenching, it's awesome.
If they're half as funny as their Twitter feeds, then they're solid. So
Which they are, because there's a joke about, oh god, I don't even know what it was.
Ed Brubaker, did that joke get
The
here?
bondage, James bondage cuffs. That's all I really need to say.
If you don't know the
Moving
jokes,
on.
If you don't know the jokes we're talking about, just follow the Twitter roundups on the comic scene, and you'll get some good
It's
stuff out
really,
of it.
really quality. Probably the only sex comedy going on in comics right now. I don't know why that's not a more popular genre.
It's valid.
Probably because comics are for kids, right?
Oh, duh. You know what's for kids? 0.
Oh, yeah.
Children-
Totally.
Children ages 5 and under
Yes.
love 0.
I don't know where you're getting that from, because this is one of the most brutal books on the stands. This cover is straight up a dude shanking another dude. You've got the hand coming up there, blood everywhere, speed lines. Awesome
Maybe I
cover
just
by
think-
Cameron Stewart.
Maybe I just think that kids need to be raised with a little
To a
more...
life of brutal violence?
Yeah, well, Edward Zero did. He turned out fine.
Yeah,
he's
totally
fine.
fine. The dude does not have any issues at all.
No.
No troubles with this spy, nothing morally quandary going on there, none of that stuff. And we're also totally not having a signing with the writer, Arlish Kott. Oh, where did this poster come from? It's gonna be April 2nd, actually, after the Comic-Con. Stop by, bring all the things that you bought, bring all the things you're gonna buy from us. Get them signed.
If you haven't stocked him enough during all of Emerald City Comic-Con weekend, you can come here and stock him some more.
Yeah, if you have the crowds were getting in the way, you weren't getting, the sweat samples you need for your clones.
Exactly.
Yeah, just come by, say hi.
Oh man, there's so many good books this week, guys. We can't really talk about them all because there's so many. There's
We can try though.
Okay, we'll try. There's 5 ghosts. Frank Barbary. It's pronounced wrong. And Chris Mooneyham. This book is still amazing. Super top-notch, like A-class, out of its league.
It's
Making
on
hand
10th
gestures that
issue,
you don't know what they mean.
Part 4 of the Lost Coastline story arc. It isn't even close to stopping.
Full of swashbuckling and menace.
And judging by the cover, lots of lonely contemplation. Which I guess is cool in comics
Just a
too.
little bit.
Also out this week, following up 5 Ghosts, The Sixth Gun. This is the 39th issue of Cullen Bunn and Brian Hertz creator-owned series from Oni Press. And it's freaking awesome.
This one's a tearjerker, guys. This issue's gonna be a little hard to handle.
I don't read this comic, but she probably knows what she's talking about.
It's the best of the Western genre, and I can't give anything away. It's sad, and you're gonna be bummed, but still, can you read it? That's all I have to say. It's one of the best things out there. Oni's putting out good stuff.
Yeah, another one from Image. This is the 43rd issue of Prophet, because we have to remind you every time Prophet comes out to buy it, because somehow we always end up having more issues. I don't know how that is, but it's awesome. It's amazing.
And it's coming
Prophet.
to a close way too soon.
Yeah.
There's gonna be spin-off
Yeah.
stuff probably, but
There is going to be a 6-issue miniseries afterwards, but,
I don't care. I mean, I do, but
Still want to be pissed off about it. Where's our nerd rage?
yeah, I don't have enough of that. I don't get to nerd rage enough.
That's because you're actually a well-adjusted individual.
So he thinks.
But to close things out, we've got a rather big one from Marvel here. This is the 2nd issue of G. Willow Wilson and Adrian Alfono's Ms. Marvel. Once again, if you haven't heard about it, why not? It's the story of the first headlining Muslim American heroine from Marvel Comics, Kamala Khan. Deals with, lots of issues of teenage alienation, which only becomes that much more complicated when you suddenly get superpowers after a Terrigen Mist exposure.
I know it did for me.
Yeah,
Life got
right?
really
Me
complicated.
too. As soon as I got the ability to spit hot fire out of my mouth, it was just like, whoa, what am I gonna do with my life? We also have the completely sold out #1 back in a second printing. So, if you're one of the legion of fans that missed out on this first appearance, we have got you covered. So come in, buy comics.
Alright, on a somewhat serious note, our thoughts go out to Will, who couldn't be here with us today, and his Como News family. All of Seattle's kind of shaken by that helicopter accident, so
Yeah.
he's with his Como News family tonight, and all of our Xanadu thoughts go out to him and all the rest over there and their families. City of Seattle. It's kind of shocking, but just want to put that out there. Will, we miss you. You talk about Marvel way better than Morgan does. Not as
Oh, come on.
not as good
I'm not
as I
that bad about
not
the
as good
Marvel
as I
stuff.
probably could if I tried talking about it, but I just didn't want to embarrass anyone.
It's cool. I can take constructive criticism. But
Good.
thank you, viewers. Thank you very much.
Yes.
As always, hope you have a wonderful week and buy comics.